In the heart of Lagos, two worlds exist a million miles apart. One is a world of noise, dust, and laughter, an orphanage filled with forgotten dreams. The other is a world of sterile silence, polished marble, and cold despair, a billionaire's final resting place. But what if a melody from one world was the only thing that could save the soul of the other? Ayourmeeday, Ayo for short, is a small, slender 12-year-old girl with expressive, deep-set eyes that seem to hold both an ancient wisdom and a child's unwavering hope. Her skin is the rich color of kola nuts, and her hair, typically braided neatly into cornrows by one of the older girls, frames a face that is often serious, but capable of lighting up with a truly radiant smile. Her clothes are hand-me-downs from the orphanage, patched but always meticulously clean, a testament to her quiet dignity. Ayo is an introverted observer. She spends more time listening and watching than speaking, absorbing the world around her with a thoughtful gaze. Despite the hardships of orphanage life, she possesses an unshakable optimism, a quiet belief that good things are possible. She's incredibly resilient, facing daily challenges with a calm determination that belies her age. She's also fiercely compassionate, especially towards the younger children in the orphanage, often comforting them with a gentle touch or a whispered story. There's a subtle, dry wit about her that surfaces unexpectedly, often through a keen observation or a quiet retort that makes the adults smile. Ayourmeeday arrived at the Hope Haven Orphanage, in a bustling Lagos suburb when she was just 5 years old. Her parents, a young couple, tragically perished in a sudden, devastating building collapse during a heavy rainstorm. She has only vague, warm memories of them, mostly centered around their laughter and the lullabies her mother sang. Life at Hope Haven is a mix of routine and chaos. It's run by the stern but well-meaning Mama BC, a woman who ensures everyone is fed, clothed, and educated, albeit barely. Ayo shares a cramped dormitory room with 7 other girls. Her days are filled with chores, sweeping the dusty floors, washing dishes, helping with the younger children, and school. While the orphanage provides basic education, Ayo's true learning comes from observing people and reading tattered books found or donated. Her biggest struggle is the constant longing for a sense of belonging and the quiet ache of not having her own family. She often escapes into her imagination, dreaming of worlds far beyond the orphanage walls. Ayourmeeday has an extraordinary, almost magical singing voice. It's not loud or flashy, but deeply soulful and incredibly pure. When she sings, it feels like every note carries the weight of emotion, sorrow, hope, love, peace. Her voice has a way of cutting through noise and distraction, touching something deep within the listener's spirit. She often sings softly to herself while doing chores, or whispers lullabies to crying younger children, sometimes unknowingly causing adults nearby to pause, captivated. She doesn't perform. Her singing is an outpouring of her inner world, a natural gift she's not fully aware of its profound impact on others. It's her solace, her secret comfort, and her purest form of expression. More than anything, Ayo yearns for a family, a place where she is truly seen, loved, and belongs. She dreams of a future where she can use her voice, not for fame, but to bring comfort and joy to others, perhaps even to find stories that echo the deeper truths of life, just like the ones she whispers to the younger children. She also quietly dreams of a good education, something beyond the basic reading and writing the orphanage offers. Chief Obeenaa Okoro is a billionaire who once exuded immense power and presence. Even in his weakened state, traces of his formidable past remain. He has a sharp, intelligent face, deeply etched with the lines of countless board meetings and shrewd decisions. His skin, once a rich, healthy dark brown, now carries a slightly ashen pallor due to his illness. His eyes, though often weary and unfocused, can still flash with a spark of his old intensity. He is meticulously groomed even in his hospital gown, a testament to a lifetime of self-command. He carries the aura of someone who has always been in control, now stripped bare by his failing body. Chief Obeenaa's story is one of sheer, relentless ambition. Born into humble beginnings in a small village in eastern Nigeria, he moved to Lagos in his early 20s with nothing but a tattered shirt and a fierce hunger for success. He started small, hawking spare parts, then moved into importing, and finally built a sprawling empire in the logistics and manufacturing sectors. His company, Okoro Global, is a household name across West Africa. He is known for his sharp mind, ruthless business tactics, and unyielding drive. However, his relentless pursuit of wealth came at a steep cost. He lost his wife, whom he genuinely loved, early in their marriage, due to his obsessive work hours and neglect. He has no children, having prioritized his empire over family. His few remaining relatives are distant, interested primarily in his vast fortune. His life has been a monument to his own success, but a desolate landscape of personal connection. He lives in a fortress-like mansion, surrounded by staff, but utterly alone. Chief Obeenaa suffers from an incredibly rare and debilitating neurological condition, which the doctors have grimly termed progressive auditory atrophy. In layman's terms, he is slowly losing his hearing, but not in a typical way. It's not just silence. It's as if his brain is actively rejecting incoming sound. His ears are fine, but the pathways to his brain are decaying, leading to profound deafness that no hearing aid or surgery can fix. The more significant and tragic symptom is that as his hearing fades, his brain, starved of external auditory stimuli, begins to generate a constant, internal, whispering silence, a low, maddening hum that never stops. It's not tinnitus. It's a deep, pervasive oral void that isolates him completely, driving him to the brink of madness. Doctors have tried everything, but the condition is progressive and terminal. They predict he has mere weeks, perhaps a month, before the silence completely consumes him, leading to organ failure induced by extreme neurological stress and exhaustion. He cannot sleep without powerful sedatives, and even then, the hum often penetrates his dreams. Chief Obeenaa is in the VIP wing of Lagos's most prestigious private hospital, surrounded by the best medical technology and round-the-clock nurses. He is emaciated, weak, and largely unresponsive, kept alive by an array of machines. He communicates with exasperated grunts or frustrated waves of his hand. His once sharp mind is clouded by fatigue and the incessant internal hum. He is bitter, angry, and profoundly lonely. He looks at his vast wealth and sees only its uselessness now. He resents the doctors, the nurses, and even the world for this cruel fate. He has accepted his impending death, viewing it as the only escape from the whispering silence. His outlook is one of utter despair, devoid of hope or even the faintest glimmer of purpose. Hope Haven is a sprawling, slightly ramshackle collection of buildings in a bustling, working-class Lagos neighborhood. It's not fancy, but it pulses with the chaotic energy of children. The main building, once a colonial-era family home, is now faded butter yellow paint peeling in places, revealing patches of bare concrete. Clotheslines crisscross the dusty yard, draped with brightly colored laundry. The air is always filled with a symphony of sounds, children's shouts, distant hawkers, the rumble of okadas, motorcycles. Inside, it's a beehive of activity. Dormitories are crammed with bunk beds, often mismatched. The kitchen is a steamy, fragrant hub where Mama BC orchestrates meals for dozens. There's a small, perpetually dusty classroom, a tiny library with dog-eared books, and a worn-out common area where children gather for stories or quiet play. It's a place of scarcity, but also of resilience, community, and the surprising pockets of joy children create for themselves. Oh, Mama BC, a sturdy, no-nonsense woman, wiping sweat from her brow in the kitchen, to a younger orphan who's dropped a spoon, a hen. My pickin', are you a chef or a drummer? Pick that up before ants declare war on this kitchen. Oh, to a younger girl who's crying softly, don't cry, Camille. Even the sun cries sometimes, that's why we have rain. But it always comes back to shine, just like your smile will. She sings a soft, wordless melody to comfort her. In stark contrast, St. Jude's elite hospital rises like a gleaming, sterile monument in one of Lagos's most exclusive districts. It's all glass, polished chrome, and hushed corridors. The air conditioning hums a silent, constant tune, a world away from the dust and noise of Hope Haven. The VIP wing, where Chief Obeenaa resides, feels less like a hospital and more like a five-star hotel. Private rooms boast panoramic city views, plush seating, and state-of-the-art medical equipment discreetly tucked away. Nurses move with professional quietness, their uniforms crisp and white. Security is tight. It's a place where money buys comfort, privacy, and the best medical care available, but it also amplifies the isolation. Chief Obeenaa's room is filled with beeping machines and the quiet murmurs of monitors, yet it's profoundly empty of genuine human warmth. Oh, one evening, Nurse A, tired but diligent, speaking to herself as she adjusts Chief Obeenaa's for another night. Just him and the beeps. All that money, and he can't even buy a moment's peace. Oh, Chief Obeenaa, stirring restlessly, his eyes flashing with frustration as he gestures at the beeping monitor. Infernal noise. His voice is hoarse, raspy from disuse, though the noise is mostly in his head. Oh, Nurse A responded calmly, though used to his outbursts, that's keeping you with us, Chief. Just a little longer. She sighs, thinking about the unyielding whispering silence that plagues him. The connection between these two disparate worlds comes through a seemingly mundane event that spirals into a life-altering opportunity. Hope Haven relies heavily on donations. One day, a prominent philanthropist, Mrs. Adebayo, a distant relative of Mama BC and a regular donor, arrives with a large delivery of clothes, books, and, crucially, a stack of old, but functional, musical instruments, including a slightly dusty, out-of-tune keyboard. During the chaotic unpacking, a younger orphan, Biola, a lively Yoruba girl, 7 years old, tries to carry a box too heavy for her. She trips, and a stack of delicate, donated old photo albums from the box tumble and scatter across the dusty yard. Ayourmeeday rushes to help her, carefully picking up the photos. One particular album is from an old, prestigious music school's charity gala from years ago. A photo falls out, a grainy, black and white picture of a very young, vibrant Chief Obeenaa Okoro, looking unusually relaxed, applauding enthusiastically at what appears to be a student concert. On the back, an old inscription reads, "To our dearest sponsor, Chief Obeenaa, for bringing the music back to our halls." Ayourmeeday notices the name, then the solemn expression on Mama BC's face as she looks at the photo. Oh, Mama BC, sighing, looking at the old photo. Ah, Chief Obeenaa. He used to be so full of life. A great patron of the arts, before he became consumed by his empire. Now, poor man, they say he's just waiting for the end at St. Jude's. His body is failing, and his mind is trapped in his own silence. Oh, quietly holding the photo, silence? What kind of silence, Mama BC? Oh, Mama BC, shaking her head, a terrible one, my child. Inside his head. They say he can hear nothing but a hum that drives him mad. Doctors have tried everything. No cure. Just waiting. She looks at Ayo, then back at the photo, a flicker of an idea in her eyes. He used to love music. Loved it more than anything, before the money became his only song. Oh, her eyes, usually so calm, now hold a spark of intense curiosity, almost wonder. Music can sometimes quiet the loudest noise, Mama BC. This conversation plants the seed of an idea in Mama BC's mind, a desperate, unconventional thought. The hospital's annual Community Comfort Day is approaching, where local groups are invited to perform for long-term patients. Normally, Hope Haven sends a small dance troupe. But this year, Mama BC has a different plan. The idea sparked in Mama BC's mind wouldn't leave her. After finding Chief Obeenaa's photo, she watched Ayourmeeday carefully, observing the way her soft, wordless melodies calmed the younger children or even hushed the usual orphanage din. The upcoming Community Comfort Day at St. Jude's was usually a dreaded chore, a day of parading the children in uncomfortable matching outfits. But this year, Mama BC saw a different path. One sweltering afternoon, she called Ayourmeeday to her office, a cramped space dominated by stacks of paperwork and the scent of old books. Mama BC adjusted her glasses, looking sternly at Ayo. She asked, Ayourmeeday, you know the Community Comfort Day at St. Jude's Hospital? Ayourmeeday's eyes widened as she nodded. Yes, Mama BC. Are we doing the harvest dance again? My ankle still remembers last year's shoki steps, she added with a hint of her dry wit. A rare chuckle escaped Mama BC. No, my dear, not the shoki. This year it's just you. Ayourmeeday's small eyebrows shot up. She asked, Me? What have I done? Nothing, child. Everything, Mama BC explained. You have a voice, Ayourmeeday. A gift. And there's a man, a powerful man who once loved music, who is now drowning in silence. Chief Obeenaa Okoro. Mama BC gestured towards the crumpled photo still on her desk. He's dying at St. Jude's. The doctors say his mind is plagued by a constant hum. They say he cannot hear. But perhaps his soul can still listen. Ayourmeeday looked from Mama BC to the photo, her face a mix of awe and terror. She faltered, Me? Sing for a billionaire? Mama BC, my voice is for lullabies, not for healing rich men. Nonsense. Your voice is from God, Mama BC retorted. And if it can bring one moment of peace to a dying soul, then it is more precious than all his money. This is not about wealth, Ayourmeeday. This is about grace. The next few days were a blur for Ayourmeeday. Mama BC somehow acquired a slightly less tattered dress for her and even found a pair of shiny, though scuffed, sandals. Ayourmeeday spent hours tucked away in a quiet corner of the orphanage, practicing the few gospel hymns and traditional Yoruba lullabies she knew. Her fellow orphans, especially Biola, a lively girl of 7, would sneak closer, drawn by the pure, clear sound. Biola, curious, whispered to Ayourmeeday, Ayo, are you going to sing for the president? Ayourmeeday smiled faintly. No, Biola. Just a very, very sick old man. Does he give sweets? Billionaires give very big sweets, I hear, Biola pressed. Ayourmeeday sighed. I don't think he'll be giving sweets, Biola. He can't even hear. Despite her external calm, Ayourmeeday was a knot of nerves. She was used to singing for comfort, not for an audience, least of all a dying billionaire. What if her voice was just ordinary? What if he couldn't hear anything at all? The weight of Mama BC's hope felt heavy on her small shoulders. The journey to St. Jude's in a borrowed Danfo, public minibus, felt like crossing into another dimension. The bustling chaos of their neighborhood slowly gave way to wide, tree-lined avenues and gleaming buildings. St. Jude's loomed, all glass and intimidating silence. The initial performance was for general patients in the hospital's common area. Ayourmeeday, a tiny figure on a makeshift stage, sang a beautiful gospel hymn. The patients, a mix of young and old, briefly captivated. Nurse Uche, an older, kind Igbo nurse, wiped her eye. She murmured, "That child, her voice is like palm wine on a hot day. So soothing." After the general performance, Mama BC, with Ayourmeeday clutching her hand tightly, approached the head nurse on duty, a stern-faced woman named Nurse Adeola, who resembled a formidable gatekeeper. Mama BC greeted her, "Good afternoon, nurse. My name is Mama BC, from Hope Haven Orphanage. And this is Ayourmeeday. We understand Chief Obeenaa Okoro is here. We heard he used to love music, and Ayourmeeday has a special gift. Perhaps a private moment could bring him some comfort." Nurse Adeola's expression hardened. "Mama BC," she stated, "with all due respect, Chief Okoro is in the intensive care VIP wing. He is critically ill. No visitors, certainly no entertainers. He's barely conscious, and his condition is extremely delicate. He won't even acknowledge the doctors." Ayourmeeday's small voice, surprisingly firm, spoke up. "But Mama BC said he loves music. Maybe my song can go where doctors cannot." Nurse Adeola scoffed. "Child, if millions in medical bills and the best specialists in the world can't go there, your lullaby certainly won't." Mama BC stepped forward, her usual no-nonsense demeanor replaced by quiet desperation. "Nurse," she pleaded, "this isn't about medicine. It's about a dying man's soul. He's plagued by an internal noise no one can quiet. What if this child's voice is the one thing that can cut through? Just 5 minutes. What is there to lose? His time is running out anyway." Nurse Adeola hesitated, glancing at Ayourmeeday's earnest, hopeful face, then at Mama BC's unwavering gaze. She had seen Chief Obeenaa's despair, heard his guttural cries. She had nothing left to offer him. Finally, with a sigh of weary resignation, Nurse Adeola made a call. Permission was granted, grudgingly, by Chief Obeenaa's primary doctor, Dr. Okoro, no relation, a tired man equally exhausted by the chief's terminal decline. 5 minutes, Dr. Okoro reiterated, and if he so much as flinches, you leave immediately. Ayourmeeday, with Mama BC by her side, was led through hushed corridors into the gleaming, silent VIP wing. The air felt heavy with the scent of antiseptics and despair. They entered Chief Obeenaa's opulent, yet desolate, room. He lay almost motionless on the hospital bed, a skeletal Igbo man hooked up to an array of blinking, beeping machines. His eyes were closed, his face pale and drawn, his breathing shallow. The only sound was the soft, relentless hum of the machines and the nurse's quiet footsteps. It felt less like a room and more like a tomb awaiting its occupant. Ayourmeeday's heart pounded. This wasn't just a sick man. This was a shadow of a man haunted by an invisible torment. She wondered, how could her small voice possibly reach him here? Ayourmeeday stood beside the silent, dying man, Chief Obeenaa Okoro. The hum of machines filled the sterile room, a cold counterpoint to the warmth she carried within. Mama BC offered a reassuring squeeze of her hand, a silent command for courage. Ayourmeeday took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and let the first pure note float out. It was a gentle, traditional Yoruba lullaby, Omalara, a song of comfort and protection. Her voice, usually soft, seemed to fill the vast room, not with loudness, but with an almost tangible presence. It was a melody spun from raw emotion, unburdened by technique, flowing from the deepest well of her orphan's heart. Nurse Adeola, standing nearby, initially watched with a cynical, professional detachment. Dr. Okoro, observing from the doorway, sighed, ready to signal for them to stop. As Ayourmeeday continued to sing, a miraculous change began to stir. The beeping of Chief Obeenaa's heart monitor, which had been weak and erratic, began to steady, its rhythm gaining a subtle strength. His eyelids, heavy with sedatives and despair, fluttered. Dr. Okoro's eyes, previously glazed with fatigue, snapped open in surprise. He leaned forward, disbelief warring with scientific training. Nurse Adeola frowned, checking the monitor again, thinking it must be a malfunction. Ayourmeeday, still with her eyes closed, moved instinctively to another hymn, a soulful call for peace and healing. Her voice seemed to weave through the very air, a tender, persistent presence. Then the impossible happened. Chief Obeenaa's eyes, those weary, despairing eyes, slowly, agonizingly opened. They were unfocused at first, but as Ayourmeeday sang the chorus, a profound transformation began. The maddening internal hum, the whispering silence that had tormented him for months, began to recede. It was like a thick fog lifting, replaced by a pure, startling quietude he hadn't known existed. A tremor ran through Chief Obeenaa's emaciated body. He tried to move his hand, a feeble, trembling gesture towards the source of the sound. Dr. Okoro gasped, rushing to the bedside. He checked the monitors, then Chief Obeenaa's pupils, his hands moving with frantic disbelief. His vitals, they're stabilizing. The brain activity, it's calming, he muttered, stunned. Nurse Adeola's jaw dropped. She had seen countless patients in their final hours, but never this. This was beyond medicine. Ayourmeeday, sensing a shift, opened her eyes. She saw Chief Obeenaa's eyes, now clear, fixed on her. In them, there was not despair, but a raw, overwhelming wonder and a profound, wordless recognition. She finished the hymn, her last note hanging in the air like a shimmering thread of light. The room was suddenly hushed, save for the steady, strong beeping of the monitor. Chief Obeenaa, the dying billionaire who had accepted his silent doom, took a long, rattling breath. He moved his lips, and a sound, rough and unused but distinctly human, emerged. Music! He rasped, his voice a ghost of its former power. I hear music. My silence, it's gone. Mama BC squeezed Ayourmeeday's hand so hard it almost hurt, tears openly streaming down her face. Praise God, she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Nurse Adeola, wiping her own eyes, looked from the revived chief to the small Yoruba girl with unadulterated awe. It's a miracle, she murmured, foregoing all professionalism. Dr. Okoro, a man of science, could only shake his head, a stunned smile slowly spreading across his face. This changes everything. He knew Chief Obeenaa was still gravely ill, but the whispering silence had been the true executioner. Now it was broken. The VIP wing of St. Jude's was abuzz. Dr. Okoro, a man of science, was both bewildered and exhilarated. Chief Obeenaa's vitals continued to stabilize at an astonishing rate. The whispering silence that had tormented him was truly gone, replaced by a profound, blissful quiet. He could hear, not with his ears, but with some deep, inner sense that Ayourmeeday's voice had awakened. He still couldn't respond audibly to normal conversation, but the torment had ceased. He communicated through gestures and the intense clarity in his eyes. Over the next few days, Ayourmeeday became a quiet fixture in Chief Obeenaa's room. Under strict supervision from Dr. Okoro and Nurse Adeola, she would sit by his bedside and sing. Sometimes it was a hymn, sometimes a lullaby, sometimes just a wordless melody. Each note seemed to breathe more life into the skeletal man. He started to eat small portions, to move his limbs, and even to offer weak, grateful smiles. His mind, once clouded by constant torment, was now lucid. Chief Obeenaa, the once ruthless billionaire, communicated his desires with surprising clarity. He wanted Ayourmeeday there. He wanted to hear her voice. And he wanted to know everything about her. Nurse Adeola, to Dr. Okoro, shaking her head in disbelief, "I've seen it all, Dr. Okoro. But this is beyond any medical textbook. It's like her voice is medicine for his soul." Dr. Okoro, tired, but with a new spark in his eye, "Indeed, nurse. A healing no pharmacopoeia could prescribe. The chief is still gravely ill, but something fundamental has shifted. He has a reason to fight now." As Chief Obeenaa slowly gained strength, the bond between the aging man and the young girl deepened. He couldn't speak much, but his eyes, filled with newfound clarity and gratitude, communicated volumes. Ayourmeeday, in turn, found herself opening up to this strange, powerful man. She'd tell him quiet stories about Hope Haven, about Mama BC's funny rules, and about the younger children's antics. She even shared a few of her dreams, of learning, of belonging, of a future beyond the orphanage. One afternoon, as Ayourmeeday sang a particularly melancholic Yoruba folk song, Chief Obeenaa, with immense effort, raised a trembling hand and gently patted her arm. Ayourmeeday paused, and he looked at her with an intensity that pierced her. Then, slowly, painfully, he formed a single word with his lips, though no sound came out. "Thank you." It was the first coherent word he had attempted. Ayourmeeday's eyes welled up. Mama BC observed these interactions with a quiet joy. She saw not just a billionaire being healed, but a lonely soul finding connection, and an orphan finding an unexpected, profound bond. Mama BC, to Ayourmeeday later that day, her voice soft, "He looks at you, Ayourmeeday, like you brought him the sun. Be careful with that power, my child. It's a heavy gift." Ayo, simply, "It's not power, Mama BC. It's just a song." After several more weeks, Chief Obeenaa was stable enough to be moved from intensive care. Though still frail, his mind was sharper than it had been in years. The internal hum was completely gone, a miracle his doctors still couldn't explain. He communicated by writing notes on a small slate. One sunny afternoon, with Mama BC and Dr. Okoro present, Chief Obeenaa, with immense effort, wrote on his slate, "Ayourmeeday, you saved my life. You gave me back peace. I have no family. I have no legacy. Will you be my daughter?" Ayourmeeday's eyes widened, tears instantly springing. Mama BC gasped, clutching her chest. Dr. Okoro looked on, a mix of surprise and understanding. Ayourmeeday looked at Mama BC, then at Chief Obeenaa's expectant, hopeful face. The thought of a real family, a place where she truly belonged, after all these years, it was overwhelming. She rushed forward, threw her arms around the frail man, and whispered, "Yes. Oh yes, Papa Obeenaa." It was a quiet, profound moment, sealing a bond forged not by blood, but by a miraculous song and a desperate need for connection. The adoption process was swift, overseen personally by Chief Obeenaa's lawyers. He stipulated that Mama BC and Hope Haven Orphanage would receive substantial, ongoing financial support. Ayourmeeday moved from the cramped orphanage dormitory to Chief Obeenaa's sprawling mansion. But it was no longer a cold, lonely fortress. With Ayourmeeday's bright, youthful energy, and Chief Obeenaa's renewed zest for life, the mansion slowly transformed into a home. He began to regain his strength, working diligently with therapists. While his hearing never fully returned to normal, he could now understand direct speech with careful attention, and the whispering silence never bothered him again. Ayourmeeday, now Ayourmeeday Okoro, flourished. She enrolled in the best schools, her sharp mind soaking up knowledge. But her voice, her gift, remained her true passion. She continued to sing for Papa Obeenaa and for others in need of comfort. They would often spend evenings together, she singing quietly, he listening, his face finally etched with peace. He made sure she visited Hope Haven regularly, never letting her forget her roots. Ayourmeeday helped Mama BC set up a proper music room at the orphanage, a place where other children could discover their own voices. Chief Obeenaa, the once ruthless billionaire, was transformed. He channeled his immense wealth not into more acquisition, but into philanthropy, particularly in healthcare and education. He established the Ayourmeeday Foundation, dedicated to supporting orphanages and providing medical aid to those suffering from rare, debilitating conditions. He became a man who understood that true wealth wasn't in what you accumulated, but in the lives you touched. The story of the orphan girl who sang a billionaire back to life became a modern legend in Lagos, a testament to the power of a pure heart, the magic of music, and the boundless grace that can heal even the most broken souls. Chief Obeenaa found not just his life again, but the family he never knew he needed, and Ayourmeeday found the belonging and love she had always dreamed of. They lived a life filled with purpose, joy, and the quiet harmony of a song that defied death itself. What an incredible journey of hope, music, and a second chance. Did Ayourmeeday's song touch your heart? What lesson from Chief Obeenaa's transformation resonated most with you? Like this video if you believe in miracles and second chances. Subscribe to Wisdom Tales by Cha for more extraordinary African stories that will inspire your soul. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our new tales of wisdom and wonder. Share this story with someone who needs a little hope today. Tell us in the comments, what was your favorite moment in Ade and Yatun's incredible story? See you in the next video.
Hello, friends. It's your personal person, Cha. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this family. Please like and subscribe for more wisdom tales. See you in the next video.